So the work that has been produced was by our local poet Bethany Rivers, and she is our local artist, and also by Zoe Needle, who is a print artist. We have asked Shrewsbury ACT members, as well as the staff, as well as library staff, to describe in 3 words their life. And what happened was that most of the people said death as being a big part of their life.
Not everybody is very good at orally describing things. Homeless people tell their stories over and over again to every official you meet, a person who stops you on the street, somebody who donates something. They want your backstory to justify their, for their gratitude, and also to go through the system. The story has to be told. So a lot of the times when you meet a homeless person out of that context, they are storied out, they're told out.
Art is really great to get the energy out from people, whether it's sadness or happiness or any kind of emotional expression, and it's really important for it to not be internalized.
It's a way of amplifying their voice in ways that can reach their emotions, because the emotion has been taken out of their story.
I wrote a poem for my sister's funeral because we came up to see her body. She hung herself at 19, and en route with my dad from London to come up to Clun for the funeral and everything, I wrote this poem as we were driving down the Clun Valley, which I read at the funeral. And then about 3 years after my sister's, I thought I was fine. I had my own life in London. I was a dad, I was working, and then I had a breakdown, and I just hit the skids, the floor dropped out, and I was sleeping about 3 hours a night, and I'd be thinking, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, but I just couldn't leave my flat. And I had this album by the Barrow Poets, and I used to just play it over and over and over. But there was one track on this album called The House, where Ridey Didey died, and had all this really ethereal string music, and this guy sort of telling this, which was a poem about this guy who lived in this ramshackle house, and this is the house where Ridey Didey died. And it was it just kind of stuck with me. So I think that's probably where Des Pear came from, because I used to listen to it over and over and over again.
Sean's mum gave me a copy of the poem at the height of her emotional state, and it was given to me, I think, as a way of expressing how scared and frightened she was as a parent. And I read this poem, and it was incredibly emotive. It affected me dramatically, and I then realised how fitting it was, how it went melded in with the project.
Des Pear. Des Pear was a solitary man, alone in the dark, bereft of any plan. He wanted to be with them. He yearned to be there, but the people all around him just weren't aware. Many was the times when he tried to share his feelings, his emotions, his ability to care. This was all to no avail. He was doomed to fail. Fate had dealt its hand. It just wasn't fair. He looked for an answer to his one and only prayer, a blanket or a coat for protection he could wear. The infiltration of the pain would never seem to wane, until the day came when it was all too much to bear. He hung himself from a noose made of his hair, a revelation of the fact he had the willingness to dare. He took control of his life, put an end to his life, put an end to the strife, the cessation and conclusion to the sorrow of Des Pear.